So yeah, Spirit moved me to knock out 3 in a day. So I'm going to knock out another 2 more videos. My Journey to God, part 2. Keeping up with where I left off will be easy today, a lot more difficult tomorrow. So yeah, back in Flint, the baptism, that interesting. And then now I am studying with Ben. Went to Ben's house for the first time to pick him up. We were going to go up to Northern Trail, Flint Northern Trail, and run the trail and things. And Shay was running behind. Love my black people. Shay was running behind, so we couldn't just go. So I was over there at Ben's house, just stuck with him for a couple of hours. And in those hours, he fed more into my brain and my spirit than anyone had ever in my whole entire life. And a lot of me thought he was the devil. I love you, Ben. But you dark skinned and wear a lot of red. And I think his room might have been red back then too. I don't know. But he's a creepy motherfucker. But I love him so much now. And I really appreciate him for everything he did. So he showed me the symbology between Jesus and the ancient Egyptians and the other ancient cultures, and the similarities between Jesus and Krishna and Buddha and Horus and everything. I mean, he showed me things that the church would never have showed me. The church would never have showed me the simple similarities between their cross and other pagan crosses and other symbols and all of that. And I was like, whoa. Overwhelmed and outdone. And that was just the catcher. You know, as we continued to study, he began to display clear contradictions in the Bible. He began to display misconceptions in the Bible. He began to just take a fine-tooth comb through every single knot, and the ones he couldn't comb through, he said, now you see why the Bible's so nappy. Like, he just, the knots he could comb through was combed out. The other information was just a mess. And it was just like, whoa, why is it such a mess? And so after enough of that journey, I got to the point where I denounced Jesus from my mouth. And it broke my heart, because it was like no longer having that constant father that's with you all the time, even though, you know, because I didn't grow up with my dad. So it was like no longer having that father that supported you and protected you through everything. It was like no longer having that brother that, even though your brother wasn't perfect. I love you, BJ. Even though he wasn't perfect, like, you still had that perfect brother that everybody loved. I don't know if I'm supposed to get emotional on camera, but it sure happened. And I let all of that go. And I let that go because I told God in my heart that I wanted to find him. And I prayed. And I told God how much I loved him and how much I wanted to be his child. And in my journey to God, and openness and purity was going to take me away from God, then I was okay with that. Because I knew God had me. And it's crazy. Even in denouncing God, I knew God had me, but I didn't even notice. Like, I thought that I was doing something like so dangerous when I asked God to lead me, and God was leading me, but somehow I thought I was separate from him. Crazy. Anyway, that was a revelation for myself. So I'm on this journey with Ben, and every day we study, every day we learn something new, every day we look hard, every day we pull out the finer tooth comb, every day we're dusting for fingerprints, every day it's for like forensics of the Bible. And after a while, forensics of the Bible turns into me liking him. Now, yes, I'm still with a young man in Atlanta, you know, Prentice, I'm still with you, babe, but I'm feeling Mr. Smarty Pants, Mr. Chocolate Smarty Pants. It's just all of that, you feel me? All of that. And with him being all of that, it just made it easy to catch feelings for him. So Sweetest Day comes around, and that's in like, what, October, September. And I asked Ben to be my Sweetest Day date, because the guy who I'm like, you know, he's in Atlanta, he's not here, and because he's not here, I'm lonely. We talk over the phone and stuff, but I'm lonely. So I asked Ben to be my sweetest date. He said yes, and I didn't wash my hair. Y'all, I'm gonna tell it like it is. I done washed up one of my wigs. I put it in the dryer to look. I know y'all laughing. I put it in the dryer to dry it. I had it on low. I left it in there too long. That hair burnt up like baby doll hair under a blow dryer, which is something I had done, but it had been a couple years. But anyway, so that was a mess. So I had to go buy new hair, and I just knew God was getting at me and punishing me for catching feelings for somebody while I already had feelings for somebody else. And God was dealing with me, because if I wasn't going to separate from the man in Atlanta, then I shouldn't have been feeling the way I felt about Ben. And I respected that from God, you know, and I really had put Ben in the friend zone because I was being obedient to God. I had put Ben in the friend zone. But we still studied together, still saw him every day. But, you know, it couldn't be like that because God would get me. And it's crazy, like I didn't even realize that I had already denounced God, but God was still there willing to get me if I got out of line. So, can't escape God. God is everywhere. God is everything. And just because you don't want to believe what's in the Bible at that moment don't mean that He's not going to bring you full circle right back to that Bible, you know. If we like breaks, God must like breaks, because God created us to like breaks. I'm blurry again. Fix it. Fix it, God. Fix it, God, so I ain't blurry. They still gonna get the point whether I'm blurry or not. Okay. I'll stop moving as much. Maybe that'll help. There we go. See? God always knows how to fix it. So, yeah. One day, I had left from somewhere. It was in December. And I had left from somewhere. And I went to go see Ben. And I was driving a big old Suburban. I guess a green Suburban. Wasn't no sandbags in the back. It was wintertime. It had gotten closer and closer to wintertime. I went to go see Ben. And Ben had pulled out a lock on me. And Ben asked me for 3 numbers for the combination of the lock. And I gave him 3 numbers. And the 3 numbers I gave him was 3, 5, 7. Okay, ladies out there, Ben's lock combination is 3, 5, 7. I already broke it though. And with that, that was God's way of showing him that I was the woman that he was supposed to be with. And after that, I got on the expressway at Hamilton. This is for all my Flint Town people, for sure. I got on the expressway at Hamilton. And then getting on the expressway at Hamilton, and getting on the expressway at Hamilton, I was speeding up just to get on, not speeding up to go fast. Y'all, I know how it is. But so I hit some black ice in that bourbon, and my tail went to it was just all over the expressway, and I was bugging, okay? And all I was is like, I'm gonna mess with Daddy Viggo, I'm gonna mess with Daddy Viggo, I'm gonna mess with Daddy Viggo. Because I'm getting on the expressway at 475. It's already dark outside. I know people going home, and it's ice out here, and I'm spinning around, and it's the center section, and it's the wall. It's the center section of the wall, and I'm just like not gonna hit anything. I'm swerving, just swerving not to hit anything. And then as I stopped in the middle of the expressway, so thankful that I wasn't dead. Still trying to figure out how I wasn't dead, even though all I was thinking about was not messing with my daddy's truck. Okay, don't even go there. I look up the expressway, and God has all the cars coming up the expressway in a single file line. In a single file line behind the salt truck. But like at a distance though, like slowly but surely. With me having time to cut the car off, cut the car back on, put it in gear, and pull off before they caught up to me completely. I was bugging, God. I was so thankful. But I was bugging. I was crying. I felt so worthless. I felt so worthless. Like in our group, me, Michelle, Shay, and Ben, we had been talking about purpose, and I just did not have no purpose. And I kept feeling worthless because I didn't have no purpose, and I just did not know what I was here to do. And God told me in that moment, God said, support. I'm here to support. Support what? Support who? Well, it was way more dramatic than that. Actually, it's kind of too dramatic for me to put at the end of the second video. So I'll put it at the end of the beginning of the third video. And I'll end the second video with thank you for listening to my journey to God, part 2. And I'll go on to part 3. I'm just doing what God says. Bye.